Do réir an bhunreachta is an bhlí.
Agus Milan díhil a dhéanamh.
Agus Milan díhil a dhéanamh.
San lasa is fónamh muintir na hÉireann.
San lasa is fónamh muintir na hÉireann.
Dia dom stúra agus dom cúr.
Dia dom stúra agus dom códa. We will use these 7 years well to create a future where, in the words of William Butler Yeats, everything we look upon is blessed. Yenamij an toki shin a cruchu lekela. Let us make this journey together. Guramila Mahagat.
Rugh Máire Pádraigín Mhic an 7 mehef nídia chuige héan san ardóin túisgart féil feriste an páiste behinne do maionúr. A fásin níos I geantar a bhí geall a bheith omláin catilichach, bhí tógant compordach ag muintir I Linnechain, mar bahar nóid legánta caiilehil an tathir. Níor de phobal náisiúnach féil feriste an clán ógúchas áfach. Bas an cruachán canta roscamáin dá hathir, bagúnig iad muintir an bháchir. In a calí nóg bevinnig a Máire siras a cruachán I dig a bhúr histi, agus ba an son a prévog an chatilicacht gysmir inti.
The more spiritual side of the experience of church came to me from my paternal grandparents in the west of Ireland, in Roscommon, where I experienced an entirely different type of faith. My grandmother was quite a mystical woman. She was a very, very, very profound prayer. I mean, there was nobody prayed more than my grandmother. I mean, up at 5:30, I hated staying down there because at 5:30 in the morning you were yanked out of your cosy settled bed, you know, and made walk the 3 miles, hail blower snow up to early mass. I mean, she was the kind of person who got up early for early mass, you know. And I remember very often lying in that settled bed, just waiting for the first rustle. And, you know, wishing to God that we were Protestants, because we knew that our Protestant friends back in Belfast never had to go through this rubbish. It would be very hard to live in Ardoyne and not to come from a religious family in a way, because part of it that I lived would have been predominantly Catholic, and there would have been another side of the street that was predominantly Protestant. The church played a fairly big part in your life. The Passionist monastery dominates the horizon there. And also, in those days, pre-television, life revolved around the confraternity, the Legion of Mary, the White Star League, the St Vincent de Paul. And it was a very small, village-like community. So, I suppose all the icons were religious icons.
Is beag taileach sa túisgurt nar landail na triblódi hartáise cua isteach bhrisise a McAleese don sracha in idiog seascanai. Ní ra bhéin éisceachtaíod muintir I Linnechain. Chuig gach hitamach na círéibh sráide ina timpeall I gciún an dégóir óg, agus tá rion siúd fós a dearcha le winter na dúhí baile. Bhog taileach I Linnechain go ros tráir chunta an dúin hálas ra únsathe seachtacha ortha.
Tugu faoi dhearachar le Máire go trom chúiseach agus ba bheag na bhór sé bás. Tugu faoin teach go máliseach agus go halk agus hannig cinneal buig faointe na driblóidí an teilech sin an 1972 nuair a tugu faoin teach le machine goni. Nes Níró siad an ihe sin a bhí an chosúlacht an teach goró siad mar bhí na sultaí lasú agus bhí cairtí muid an doras agus mar sin de.
The famous UDA gunman called Ernie Elliott shot up the place, and when they opened the door in the morning, feathers came out because the place was full of feathers because they'd hit the mattress.
The motion on Lonahe Insachahani Hishan, Neil Deuter Bihon, Hakamosha Darfad Maru. Shiach in Ardscoil San Dominic Wohor na Wall. Aitse vi forstanach Galliorti mar vi pub ag a hair in Sichantar Kierna, agus vi shabat a gol shis ag amloin agus marshanda shis gigi pub a hair. Agus nuir a hanig ledol ag an Oldscoil, chuishi ag Collision upon Rihanna Queens, a Malfarstja, agus rin shi stadjer in Dili and Trin.
In 1973, when Máire Mhic Ghiolla céad an órdach sa Dlí I Galáiste nó Riana béal ferrichte. Gád líon in éidean, tháinig sí I Gorbrocht Máire Mhic Robín mar Olive Reid sa Dlí bon Rachtóilis Cuirehuil I Galáiste na Tríanóide. Ón gapúchan sin a raig, íon bhí cúmparáid idir an bheirt Máire, cúmparáid a treisiog, nuair a chuin prig Máire Mhic Ghiolla mórán de chúisina an Robínig chuhí féin.
Mary and I were among the founding members of the Campaign for Homosexual Law Reform. And remember, this was many years ago. And it would have been seen as a very adventurous thing for a person from a conservative faculty, like the law faculty, to get involved in at all. So it took a certain degree of courage. And she wasn't just a kind of dead letter member, sleeping partner. She was in there working on policy and helping, and she was very practical.
Ní acha has chi go meo jachar dabi idir Eva son an achtishin agus bhí Eva Cathlicach. Lilin an achtishin cahamera narchar an Uglish Cathlicach no clearlahas na Uglisha go train in Jeden an achtishin near church in Jeden Charibi. So ní he gar chorig shi in denya an tíbshan agus I of a baintach lesson.
In 1976, fós Máire I Líneáin Martin McAleese. An bblion dar biún, bhog siad an tuaisceart agus cuireadar fuatha I rátó containe mí. Ballár nuaíad ón seall sa Coláiste, agus bheidí sin an téagarthas na blianta amach rompa.
When I knew them first, she was a lecturer and Martin ran a travel agency. But he wanted to do dentistry. And she really worked, and she was the breadwinner in that family for a number of years while he studied successfully to be a dentist. And I liked that. And I liked the loyalty that has continued between them. So in that sense, I think they're a fine team.
Sílim gro an gael atar a goni slanchuil. Ní ro sé a goni a boca chéile, fi sé rabalta bheit tuairt faoine chéile fiú go pibli a slag eile chéile agus marsinte ach tá gael an waith agus an leiter atartha.
A £100 million gamble could be about to pay off. These cars, 400 of them, are on their way from Belfast to the west coast of America. This is the first consignment of the controversial DeLorean sports car, the stainless steel dream machine built in Belfast for the American super-rich.
Cap of Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa in a túriscóir le RTA in 1979 fáscá bhuiris Mhic Ghiolla. Go garid in éidean brisug McAleese sa fost. Rud a dag an túisceart go óg maná gan múrán fohin in RTA.
It was a big fish that might attract more big fish, and more important, it provided jobs for the jobless of West Belfast.
Bhí plunspóid agus dacrach de Ghileor ag Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa in RTA. Mar Gheallar cecho nifnach agus a bhí an dailt faoi ceist an túisceart. Mar Gheallar a cúlra féin, an cúlra poblachtánacha a bhíocha. Agus na hánta son, go raibh sí luite an a vinnig mar chaithleachach go smir. Sé sin ará go raibh sí róghard an a haspuig. Go raibh sí ró tradiisiúnta mar chaithleachach, poblachtánacha, túisceartach.
Nor a hosi an Claire Urshan today tonight, agus Anna Hudjdini nua, agus Anna Hudjdini an Waiche, Gary Shorroch, agus Genu Taija Don Claire, agus Kuro Anna Hudj, Ariga Dustahon, Harla Guru Shishan $1 egg, Eganam Kiana, agus Nastalkin Yokrish, Ohui. Agus vi Polaru Agolarai, Dini avi an Nashun, Chuishad Nis Nashuni. Fós daoine a bhí ina éideansin chúisead an níos fuide ina éideansin mar a bhí an tír ar fád. Agus cuireadh lethmhaire dar leithí héan gur quadruple deviant a bhíonn si. Ban a bhíonn si bhíon síl Jackar dar leithí ar na mrá in RT ag an am. Náisiúnach, Catholicach agus tuisceartach. Agus dar le daoine áirithe in RT go raibh sé duine go leor ar Ghaoine mar sin. Is cinnte go raibh atmosfér RTE fri náisiúnach ag an am agus fri thuisceartach a chuid is mó agus ar an dóid sin ar doling si ag daoine, doling si máslaí, doling si ag daoine a bhí fri náisiúnach agus a bhí inéad an daoine a tháinig a dúig mar thonnachas dóibh gur poblachtánaigh iad ar fad rud nach raibh fíor ar charbí.
Ní léon áras a gomsa ach go mbeadh deacrachtaí aige. Ach ní deacrachtaí ó thaobh daoine a bheith daoine nimhnach nó daoine grán ag teachta níos ára. Bhí cuid an fáilt ar an taobh seo ag siúd. I mean, de bheadh siúd ag brisisteach an ifig ag ardú ceist beidir prómhóigean nach bhór trial ceart nó go raibh extradition ann agus rís sé bóra faoi. Ach bhí na lads eile sin áfs na lassies ón deisgurt a cuioineh like cut faoi boggart an stáigh na próvós, like, nach bhfuil gá leis an lámh leidir. You see, nuair a bhí mar go léireóg forward an fear na bhí today tonight, nuair a bhí aróg Credit United Ireland. Timppla gnéadíoh seachtaach níoach aine le éon hÉireann creúnta Chórtas United Ireland. So bhí Máire tactaisteach agus ó thaobh an foireann bhí sé rá like, hey, we ought to kind of get all excited and worked up about Northern Ireland. Agus bhíidir go léir rá stigin aigna massam, we've all got to calm this down.
In Rome this morning, 17 Irish people from various parts of the country, north and south, were declared blessed.
Ar a haimach do RTA, thug Máire Mhic Ghiolla a dúireacht le ceistúna sí bhéalta, ach ní a bhada gur sail siomh tréthe fríomhráiteacha ina charachtar. Dá riamh go raibh sí a boga fá dhéon le cuéhachta, í tairlinge I drón a héite deise. Má thóg sí an caithír ag crinú peblií den campaign an ceart chun ránathe in 18 I gún 3 bliana ba bhean na naspaigí, dar leis an Gardanéal bhí, nuair a phléadáil sí cás na haglaise Catholicí ag an fórum nua éireann.
The only right the Church reserves is, like any group in a democracy, the freedom to have its say. The freedom to have its say on the issue if the issue happens to be divorce, and to have that taken into the balance. At the end of the day, it is up to you how you weight that view.
The minute I went to the forum with the bishops, I was now, a right-wing conservative Catholic, which would be far from the truth. I mean, there are many manifestations of right-wing conservative Catholicism in the Republic, some associated with the outer fringes, for example, of the anti-abortion lobby, that I don't want to be associated with. And I really don't want to belong to a church that in which they would dominate. Thank God I don't believe that I do, though they've got a very muscular voice.
She has views on certain sort of what they call moral issues. I mean, we took a different position, for example, with regard to things like abortion information. Mary McAleese was fairly liberal on that issue, but then she had an experience that I'm unlikely to duplicate, and that was she gave birth to twins. And Mary McAleese was always somebody who looked at issues on their merits. And as far as I'm concerned, particularly if you're a liberal, it's perfectly understandable that somebody who honourably and conscientiously looks at an issue, they may very well come to a different position to the one that you adopt, but it doesn't mean that they're nasty, reactionary, crypto-fascists and so on.
Is that an duine nach rion a thuaim rudí áirithe ó am go ham a gahabh a híal agus ní dónú gur chóirúing an nómarcha casíd a dhéanamh faoi Uachtaráin a aithríonn a túram faoi rudí táchtacha ó am go ham.
Chasach a ról ag an fórum dua éireann Máire Pádraigín Mhic garim réim eile fad. Nocht a taspántas ag an órum commas agus téiger tréthe a thug chun súlaibh chathalaíochaí í. Bharta sé an commas sin a hapú chun lesa í an a fáil. Spráge ag cahal hocha, chláirigh Máire Pádraigín Mhic ina baldaí ina fáil in 1985. Heisiad an dáil a dálach phleachlaí a hir hes in 1987, ach hepirí siachán a bhainteach. Díl sí an túisgurt in an Uachtaráin, agus dimig leis an saol acadúil a thuair. Ceapa bhí ina stúr a thóir an Institute am Stadéir Garamúil an Dlí ina Halma Mater, Ollscoil na Riama. Chreisiófaí í baul ina las Chanceléir an Ollscoil.
Professor Mary McAleese, as a Pro-Vice-Chancellor at Queen's, makes her the first woman and one of very few Catholics ever to hold such a senior position at the university.
There are, if you like, two constituencies from which I come who have been traditionally underrepresented in the university, both women and Catholics. And while we have indeed had Catholic Pro-Vice-Chancellors before, I think this is the first time that a woman has become Pro-Vice-Chancellor. And I think that's a very significant development. We're seeing, I think, now the breaking down of many of the glass ceilings, and I think this is one of them.
Anis go raibh sí filte bhéal feriste, McAleese equivalente in a timpel, cin Máire Pádraigín Mhic go raibh sé an am rud éigean a faoi. In idiog nóca cahar, glach sí páirt to daca leis an tahar Alex Reid agus Jim Fitzpatrick, I gaint na rúnda le Sinn Féin agus an taire faoi abhanú hoscóric na nóglach. Úsáid faoi le a bhairithe na córáití sin mar leat dá drám amach anseo.
I think there are all sorts of small secret histories of Northern Ireland, many of them associated with the peace process and the beginnings of the peace process, or trying to find the beginnings of a peace process. Mary McAleese may have been involved in a few of them. It perhaps became more difficult for her in the south, partly because of the hypocrisy of the Republic in terms of how it treated Catholics from the north, but also in terms of the delicacies of any election campaign or presidential election campaign that is based on running for an office that's supposedly non-political. Are there going to be all these skeletons in the cupboard? In Mary McAleese's case, the skeletons in the cupboard were undoubtedly going to be about Northern Ireland.
Bhealach ní tuigeann siad an deisceart bhealach inis sa rís ó thaobh duine nádúra agus duine oscailtaí I duine iontachaí. Ach ní tuigeann siad go chumláin móras an túisceart. Ní thuigeann siad nach níl míad có dá aignach is atá náisiúntóirí faoi foréigean, faoi an IRA. I mean, can tú hiiscint gur chuir na Stair-Státaigh Poblatánaigh chun bhás, chuir Fianna Fáil Poblatánaigh chun bhás. Ní léon ambivalence I bhoblach na hÉireann faoi bagart an stát. Tá míad anna fíochfar nó tá an stát faoi bagart. Tin tú haar an teorann is kind of mar sin de faoin IRA. Agus tá cuide sin a bhaint le Mary McAleese. Nor a na fasan dúis suas in nationalist ghetto bíonn tú mar sin faoin IRA, faoin Sinn Féin.
This is obviously a very difficult moment. I'm about to sign the formal document of resignation to take effect from 1 o'clock today.
Nuair dógur Máire Mhic Robin ná bheadh sí seasamh don dara téirna nídiaag nócha seacht. Tá síomh an rás chun córba aimsiúte. Cathag enim Mhic Ghiolla isteach sa fota go lua.
Tar éis do Mary Robinson as effig, ba heist llí ceachó móras a bhíon Uachtaránach de méle fabhil. Go raibh comórtas codíon sin ann, agus go raibh an irid san iarthóirí á lua don bost ina díag. Llí, diaad fárá go minic hana, gur duine ghíireacht irid agus a béidir a thocrú nach meach tóchan ar behaun, a bheith costasach, a bheith dailteach nó haringóch ard an effig an echar, gur raibh an socrú bedeise leis na politeoirí, ná socrú nach gílóch tóchan an echar. Ní raibh seans fin spéirán go meach le héadán héis go Mary Robinson forbór a tréimhse a chahabh in áras an Uachtaráin. Bhí daoine is chur spéisiar cadéad faoi a dhéanamh leis a basta. Cadéad na rudaí a bhéad faoi rá os ard, agus go dúr faoi ard ort, agus ar na ceistena bhí a bhainsa leat dá meach a posta gut. Agus bhí sé spéisiúil réan na nírathóir a tháinig chun cín á dariscin féin don Uachtaránacht in a diag.
The Fianna Fáil leader, Bertie Ahern, now has 6 members seeking the party ticket. Early opinion polls show Albert Reynolds with strong support, but the more conservative Michael O'Kennedy is pitching hard for the job. The Minister for Defence, David Andrews, also has strong support, but there are fears that the party would lose his Dunleary seat in a by-election. Former Minister Máire Pádraigín Mhic is also high on the Fianna Fáil list, as is their Deputy Leader, Minister Mary O'Rourke, despite her protests that she has not sought the nomination. And rumours persist that the former European Commissioner Ray McSharry will be invited to run, and the Queen's University professor Mary McAleese have also been suggested as candidates. Mr Ahern has asked all those interested in being nominated to declare by Saturday, and the party will decide on one next Wednesday.
She'd had a very interesting checkered career, in which she had met an awful lot of influential people, in which she had moved in a lot of influential circles. They were the kind of circles that Fianna Fáil was comfortable with. She was also somebody who was seen as following on in the Robinson tradition in terms of being highly educated, highly articulate, a woman in public life. So there was that sense that she is somebody who could be put out there as a candidate that people would respond to for a variety of all those different reasons. And also I think because she was somebody who was coming into a presidential election after Mary Robinson is gone. There is a sense of what next, and people are not quite sure what next, but they're quite sure that they're not going back to the traditional presidency.
An rud a hála na hosi siad ag scríb ag teachtaí dála, ag scríb ag cóirleoirí, agus faoiarú hosi siad feachtas scríb ag Bertie Ahern. Agus faoinam a fuair Máire a chéad chruinniú le Bertie Ahern. Hannig sisteach agus bhí litir in a laimheici gus chuir Bertie Ahern céistearthaí sin litir eile na habarlumm gur litir eile tan sin hocailum teach léinn agus tithe an réaltúsin seo na bailí ar fád a chlúdach leis na litirchaí a tainné chatústeach.
Bhíad arán a hálaigh Máire Mhic Ghiolla ina corba nádúrtha an Robínach, ach ba é tradiisiúnaí ina fáil ná gnúsáidí taras mar hac square da státarí sínsearacha an fátaí. Bhí súil ag an tíorthaoiseach Albert Reynolds go rán áfaí ach is beagadtá cinnte sa pholaíocht.
In the words of both Michael Kennedy and Albert Reynolds, that once we went out the door of that party room, the contest was over. We have a united candidate. And if, for some surprise, as there was some surprise in the room, there's no doubting that, we have Mary McAleese as our candidate in the election.
Bertie Ahern shafted Albert Reynolds. As soon as he had shown him his vote at the parliamentary party meeting, it was quite clear that Albert Reynolds had been shafted, and he was understandably very bitter about it. But I think Albert Reynolds would know now that that wasn't going to happen, that there wasn't going to be a return of the presidency as a prize for a Fianna Fáil Taoiseach or next Taoiseach.
The sight of the unfortunate Albert Reynolds emerging from Boswell's Hotel with a hatchet sticking out of his skull, and the pain hadn't reached the brain cortex yet, that was really an electrifying moment.
How do you feel?
I feel very surprised and deeply disappointed with the result. But the democratic right of the party is to choose a candidate. They've done that and I live with it.
But there was a campaign to stop you. There was no doubt there was a strong
I'm not getting
campaign.
into those areas at all. You can evaluate that as you wish, and everybody else can.
But you are very disappointed.
Very disappointed, naturally.
Sé an cheist mhór na céanfa nach raibh go leor daoine a bhí an fáilig an am I géirí Albert Reynolds mar Uachtaráin. An ABBA faction mar a dúirt siad ABBA, anybody but Albert. Agus bhí go leor daoine fós a gaiúnt, a bhí sé gaiúnt orthú go bhfuair sé réigió nuair a tháinig Albert a gcuacht in dhéag imeacht Charlie Haughey. Agus bhí Coidtishan Foson, Groshe de Giri, Groshe in a payback time where it's August nach Groshe de Giri. Albert Mar Uachtaráin, Kibero de Vishash Nigerik nach Groshe Chin, Saas de Hurtsto, Fikal Yor Kushnon, Ach, Tamai Kinte Groshe Afting on.
Can I tell you how deeply grateful I am, first of all, to the Fianna Fáil Parliamentary Party for allowing me to go forward as the Fianna Fáil presidential nominee.
Fui náma voor Máire Ghiolla en im Nuchan in a file vi an machre plódacha rimpi. Don chéadúir is dar na Uachtaránachta vi cúigar san amíocht. Mary Benatti, rawa in a gael, vi takiacht fartian lucht ibre ag Éirí Roach. Agus vi Bertella, Derek Nally agus Darna, is shasav mar nab splag. Shans go rumpig liam na nírahóri amach in a vuntáiste, do Máire Ghiolla Íosa.
We scoin a more Iarahori on like an arm. Agus we scaled to own fui gachenia co. Agus the scuff session ara the Dawahori.
The one quote I remember from Dana in 1997 was that there was nothing in the Constitution to say a president can't sing. And there were all these farcical lines being thrown out in 1997.
Initially, when I came over to Ireland, of course, it was the silly season, and as far as I would say 90% of the media was concerned, it was a joke. And for some of the media, it was a very bad joke. The Irish people could only vote for the candidates that the political parties put forward. On looking at the Constitution, there was a mechanism there that secured that there could be another choice. And that was one of the things that made me step forward.
Máire Benatti, on the other hand, was seen as quite a strong candidate. She was seen as somebody who had not just a lot of influential backers, but also somebody who had had a very serious political career behind her, and she was not just an Irish politician, she was a European politician as well.
Sir de Vion ag Jeru na Fine Gael versus Fianna Fáil, mar Nero an Vertelle a gol Eiterby na Rera. Agus vi Rason a Máire Benatti agus Máire Ghiolla Íosa. Agus nuair a tharla sin, hánig daoine go teantaí féirde na daoine de na páirtithe. Agus bhí go leor de floating vote on, bhí go leor daoine a deitagol ballach nó ballach eile. Ach, mór chuid na daoine bhí siad a gol de cleanú pártí a bhí acu.
The latest opinion poll in the presidential race was eagerly awaited by all the candidates and the political parties. But for People's Alliance candidate Éireann Roach, there was little or no comfort in the MRBI findings. She dropped a massive 9 points and now stands at 13%.
I'm reasonably encouraged by them. They say what they say. They're a snapshot on a particular day. I suppose if we could go back a bit and think to the very first one that put Éireann Roach ahead of me, I think that would humble all of us. And they're volatile. And as everybody says, and I think it is so true, that the real opinion poll will be on the 30th of this month.
Díreach agus dulchan cín dianta kis a campaign, hánig is stair in a cuine nuair a scuilug documéid on Ryan gan óthaí achtracha, a thug le tuiscint go raibh Máire Ghiolla Íosa bug hin féin.
It was a dirty, filthy election campaign. I remember one headline that summed it up as smear and loathing.
Now, the issue that's really politicised the presidential campaign is the leak of confidential documents from the Department of Foreign Affairs. A set of them given to the Sunday Independent last week did not deal with the presidential candidates. They were the minutes of an Anglo-Irish conference meeting back in 1994. The editor deemed them too sensitive and didn't publish them. But another set sent to other newspapers did set out to damage Mary McAleese and were published.
There was that sense of this being quite vicious. And there was a sense as well that she wasn't confronting the questions that were being raised. She should have confronted them, because she could have confronted them quite ably. This is exactly what Mary Robinson had done in 1990. And Owen Harris's influence is very important there. He said, you've got to go out and confront the controversial issues. Confront them head on. Deal with them now. Get them out of the way. Mary McAleese didn't do that. And if you adopt the policy of non-confrontation, Well, then you're creating trouble for yourself.
You know, this is the quotation from it, and I just typed it out.
I've read the quotations.
Well, I think this is important. She was very pleased with Sinn Féin's performance in the general election and confident they will be able to perform better in the local elections.
I have never, Derek, in my life, ever, taken the view that Sinn Féin were right when they did not condemn the death of Gardaí. I would hate anybody here to think that the death of one single person, and I've said it repeatedly, that I do not believe that one single person should have shed one single drop of blood on this island.
The Quid Mishamach Gwyneth McAleese, mar forlorn hope. I mean, ni cred me in here or feather in damage the end of the ach kunna kurna Liam went in here and grev dar lumsa grev keshine hard temple agus grev ivike via problematical the unionists shouldn't on for grev misha agirig gunienig nali irukt kun factus firtfer the ractile in a Quinev, agus kesh na IRA, agus kesh na Shunacus, agus kesh na Provos, agus kesh na Shunacus Satushka, da ardu a goni go pobl, unskumeak disport puebli fe keko na Shunacus a vishi, agus nor dirt mishiker tribal time bombi, kegor ahrig me ma agna fween dinne. Vi quidden tribal time bomb of wintle couple incidents of Harlan Niels DNE. So ni rev me komi kartson fui.
Nor a curry ruddy in a le nach ro fear. Ni rushi giri lorch fui eganam, mar vi on process shiachana on og eganam, agus shunnen fa nach ro shisha egiri lorch fuishin, ni rushi giri ara fech, tamishe gober son de shiachano huig, ta sho jantogum, ta shin jantogum. Kega gwajosha gamor bejer leshin yachtas eganam, churhusha, Bahadini and Whale agus Churhishin and Mission Hain and Whale Eganam.
In anoin an tiske fwy halaf yn y Quine, llawnig taciacht an rasúras na pobl vrechna agus fwy gwe a oer I siolte Mhic Ghiolla. An enw ladiog sawin nidiog nogasiach, in sialiog Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa in a hochtú Uachtaráin hÉireann.
Na milla cocht. Táimse Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa, da galont agus da Yarava, go Solomanta is go Firanach, be haka agus yijin do vunracht hÉireann, agus ad liha do Quenu, mogulagish do Colina, go dilish con Shisach, do rare an vunrachta is an dli, agus Milan yihil a Yenav, son lasa is fonav, winshir na hÉireann, Gia dom stura, agus dom coda.
Geall Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa in a campaign go dóchad sí drihid idir phobail an dá fríomh tradiisiún Ián na hÉireann. Bheadh anis an man a doling unra píléir trá heilecha óige ó scebhlaitheoirí na díolteachta, fáilte a ara ribh óráistigh chun na teilech nua féinnig. Is am I galwinte hug Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa le lingam Tábhachain Uachtaránachta, ach bí buntlach a campaign ná go nos glóg sí doras an áris don bobal an lán, éandachtaigh agus díolseoirí san áireamh.
There is a sense of Mary McAleese having to prove her detractors wrong once she becomes president. And that was interpreted in a number of different ways. The first was this idea that the Áras na Uachtaráin was going to be an open house for people of the unionist tradition, for 12th of July bonfires, for big orange parties. The idea that she was going to be a bridge builder, that was the theme of her presidency, of her campaign, that she was going to reach out to them. Perhaps there was even more pressure on her to do that because of this sense that she was too green. And ironically, some people would argue that she ended up becoming too orange.
Ní ráidir in echer cinte cuireamagas cadavid have here den vógra rinneshi go raibh arinta na cé drithid a hoideáil tras na gorí na hendach dóirí. agus go meach fáilte an áras Uachtaráin riban drambuí na horáistig. As go raibh sé rínta ché ómós a thuairt an na tradiisiúin ilig an Ián. Bhíad ar árasach agus an dúirt, well, chiamid. No méid sé an anna dhéanamh, nó an lecha siad léchi agus mar sinnte.
Well, a luchia as a hosí mé sa fos seo, hocrí mé éis sin na dhéanamh. Hasí dhéanamh chun ja hampla muintere sa hors do gcuine ar fud na tíre. Hog mé curú do gcuine ón tradiisiúnéontacht teacht chuig an aras, head crílar an stáit ó jaas, chun chuimhnachan dhéanamh ar an lá tá thar a bheith specialta dóibh. Agus bhí toró bra ar an curú sin, támuid a dhéanamh gach blian ó churmuid tús leis sa blian 1998. Agus tagan siad a dúi ina slúirte. Tá is agam go raibh sé Jackar a hawlamh 8 mbliana ó hin, ach níl muid abalta is freastal ar na slúirte a bhí na géirí teacht. Is ionach an rud é eiceil lá mór cuimhnachan agus an dáhéamh le chéile.
The one life and death issue in this country is still Northern Ireland, and she's quite clearly as a North of Ireland woman, but, aware of that, and she's tried to, in a compassionate way, do something about the North, having, people of the Orange persuasion back in the Irish playing their music, and so on, which to some people might be regarded as an act of supererogation. If ever you listen to Orange drums, you nearly embrace rap music.
Bhí léamhar Máire Mhic Ghiolla gur cuimhneach caitilicach na hete deise í, agus ní gach protestúnach a creidú na gealóin tauchaníochta faoi thógáil dihid. Ní ra bhada gur cuirsí siar ar a sála iad. Ní raibh mí a ionsealatha hart dó a ghlacsaí cumínach in ardaglis protestúnach Christchurch. Cuir an gníomh sin altas ar radisiúnaigh na haglise catilicí. Dúirt Desmond Connell ar daspagatha clia ná a bhánach sean. Haring gníomhartha nabhspracha Mhic Ghiolla agus an cuiar thug sí dúlháin an cléir láthais catilicí, chumpráid idirí agus a réamh hachtaí.
Measam go bhfuil brú ar bhóra na Ghiolla Íosa. Rudaí a dhéanamh atá chomh suntasach leis na rudaí a dhéanamh mar in Groville, agus measam go móthíonn sí an brú sin. Ach ní dólam go bhfuil éon ródheachracht ag Uachtaráin ar linne í héana chur a gomparáid le Uachtaráin na chuig rimpi, mar go bhfuil persantacht antuléir aici héin. Ach cinnte tá brúirthaí bheith chomá agus mar in Groville.
Ban níos tradiisiúnta ar go leor bailí ná Mary Robinson. Rhetoric níos tradiisiúnta go minic. Teachta láthair níos tradiisiúnta ná mar a bhí ag Mary Robinson. Sin ráite áfach, Bert Bháin in ige chéile in Uachtaránacht, tá sin tiréis difriocht mhór dhéanamh, maidir le íomhá na hÉireann ag gúrsa idirnáisiúnta. Agus ní feicin isise tuairimíochta bheith ar bon faoi postanna gradamúla idirnáisiúnta na náisiúnéantathe nó in agrais idirnáisiúnta eile a bheith há dairiscint do bhaná éireannacha atá tiréis iad héan de chrothú ag baile. Agus chuirigh sé únarm mar a mína bheag nómhórdan nu ceanna gceist de Máire Mhic Ghiolla Íosa nuair a éiríonn sí as an Uachtaránacht sa deire.
There was this sense that she was operating in a very different political climate to Mary Robinson, because by the time of the McAleese presidency, you have the Celtic Tiger booming, you have the peace process in the north, you have a very changed political environment, and she is there, I suppose, being able to talk constantly about progress, whereas Mary Robinson was talking about the journey towards progress. And they're the two crucial differences, I think.
Tá sé tábhairtha rá próséas atá an, próséas gandát, nó tá forbairt agus fast le dhéanamh I mór an gréthe an saoil. Tá caidireamh agus cumarsáid agus córa, le bunú agus le bunú. Tá aber mhór fós le dhéanamh ar cóhiiscint agus ar cómhas a sprago agus a vishnú. Sin an cinneal rud a bhíon ar siúil nuair a bhíon pobl ag dul le dró saoil atá nádortha agus normalach. Tá an caidireamh agus an gcuileanis idir éire agus an bratan eganstad sin buchas de dhé is cardjamuid mar is dúil de chósanna. Agus támuid beirt a bhaint lasa as an clár ibre tá lagatha McAleese do thuisgurt éireann. Dar nói sé cóhéantú aine an cesta an clár ibre sin.
Now, McAleese can also be criticised for not being ambitious enough, not being brave enough, and also shirking certain issues as president that she perhaps shouldn't have. Because she did leave herself open to the charge of hypocrisy by becoming the leader of trade delegations to China and places like this. No mention of human rights abuses. No mention of Tibet or the Dalai Lama. This is all about drumming up business for the Celtic Tiger. And it was the same Celtic Tiger that was often consuming the victims at home that she was so keen to hug. And I think she is open to the charge of hypocrisy in that sense. But again, it raises this question of what the president can and can't do. I think Mary McAleese was determined to not so much build bridges as to build a bridge and then stand in the middle of it.
Another part of me is just broken-hearted for all the families, the hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of families tonight who are going to be devastated for the rest of their lives because of this act today.
Hála scíle an World Trade Center, láir Máire Pádraigín Mhic Ghiolla le passion faoi íbertig na scíle. Measan na lán gur thug a déanacht an ócáid sin, lábhar láimh lena meas a cóhiiscint agus a breithónas. An lá I meas na geire vihidí dá Uachtaránacht.
Bhí sé an tábhachtach go thaobh na daoine a bhí sáitiú isteach i 9/11 ag an am sin. Agus an bhfuil eile, bhí is ag an an daoine seo go raibh Day of Commemoration in hÉireann tar éis 9/11 agus gur dúnú gach dus na fuaig na bhréaltas agus mar sin de. Agus, bhí sé sin anna bhád a bhíine an seo ála amach go mór géal Americánig. Rud anna wahead son hÉireann agus son an glú ceangaill atá idir hÉireann agus na Stát Aontaithe.
There will be children whose mummies and daddies walked out happy as Larry this morning out of their homes to their good jobs, or people who went on holidays today or who arrived in New York yesterday, and they will not be coming home. Why? Because of crazed hatred, uncontrolled, unchecked.
She was certainly good as Mammy of the Nation in mourning, and she does Mammy of the Nation very well, and she's a hugger to boot. So you have that sense of warmth there, and you have that sense of somebody who was able to articulate feelings very well. That was something Mary Robinson perhaps didn't have. She came across as being much more awkward and much more cold. She wasn't that kind of person, perhaps. Mary McAleese does that very well. And there is that sense after 9/11 that she has captured something very, very effectively.
On November 10th next, my term of office as the 8th President of Ireland will end. These past 7 years have been personally deeply, deeply fulfilling, and after consultation with my family, I have decided to seek election for a second term.
Sa bhliain 2004, in éire a céad seall san áras, dógur Máire Pádraigín Mhic Ghiolla Íosa go seasadh sí an bátasach mar nebsplach. Bhí sí lá an tásta tábhachan a réid. Níor gá I le héad áfach.
Sean na chara agam bhórtaí an lucht ibre Frank Kluski de bhí zais mana aige faoi rudaí a bhí dacra dhéanamh deireadh sé, you don't go through hell just for practice. Agus measam gurbéisiún an fáin nach raibh éon chléine ar éon dul a gcuine Pádraigín Mhic Ghiolla Íosa.
I think the main reason why there wasn't an election was because the Labour Party bottled it. Because there was this sense that it would be a waste of money running against somebody who was unbeatable, or the perception that she was unbeatable. That to me almost always seemed like a very, very weak argument. If you have opinion polls in the run-up to a general election that reveal that one party is clearly going to win, does that mean we should cancel the election? Does that mean that that party should just be allowed in? So it wasn't, I think that was indefensible in many respects. There should have been an election campaign. So she got that clear run. There was also a sense that she was doing a good job.
Sa céad bhliain den dara téarma d'imigh gradú measúnatha Mhic Ghiolla Íosa as ráirt ar fad. Ach ar an 27 lá eanar 2005, Ag Searmanas Camóra an tríscór héire champabháis Auschwitz, buineag barahisle as an Uachtaráin a capamh nach raibh an coiscéim a chur strain.
They gave to their children an irrational hatred of Jews, in the same way that people in Northern Ireland transmitted to their children an irrational and outrageous hatred, for example, of Catholics, in the same way that people give to their children an outrageous and irrational hatred of those who are of different colour.
She's equated us with Nazis, people who hate Catholics from birth. I'm disgusted at that. I'm appalled by it. And I think that any decent person in this country really should feel outraged that someone would, in her position as a head of state, would have that view of her neighbour.
The President's remarks may have inadvertently undone some, at least, of the work of her first term designed to build bridges here. Only time will tell, of course, what the long-term effects of this will be over the next 7 years. Brendan Wright, RTE News, Belfast.
Bhí ina orm nuair a dhéann an comparad idir na Nazis agus an Unionists ach ceapan féin, beidir gur dúirt rud mí ceart ach ní dónn gur é sin an rud atá na críomhfuoine déanachtóirí ceapan féin go bhfuil si déanamh job an bhá ag déanamh iarachtaí na déanachtóirí a thuirt amach as féin agus seansa a thuirt dóibh bheith níos mó páirteach i rudaí san prosaí a cáint agus go bhfuil si anna tábhachtach na rudaí atá si a dhéanamh ag thógant na daoine seo súscailí bailíochtlaí agus an obair atá a dhéanamh ag fearchéad an Martin leis na loyalist. Ceapan, sin é an scéal faoi Máire McAleese ní hé an 10 rud sin a dúirt si.
Beidir chur fimíach a bhaint leis sin agus cuid a seafúid a bhaint leis an size, like political correctness a bhaint leis sin. Tuigim se go má bhfuil si oscailte faoi agus bhfuil cén fágfuil náisiúntarí faoi mar há. A beidir bhfuil cuid a political correctness a bhaint leis an Dublin 4 attitude, you don't say these awful things. Ach, sin an size na mór is poiblí atá goinge agus de cúise sin a cuiineh le an cúpla tagadí sin faoi Unions agus Nazis mar sin de cúise sin trasna an size áibhatá goinge oring héin,
Despite her later apology, Unionist politicians advised Mrs McAleese to cancel her Shankill Road visit because of the anger and upset she'd provoked in the Protestant community. However, Jackie MacDonald, a UDA commander who's met the President and her husband in the past, was at the hospital to lend him his support.
People will have their problems, it's just the way our country is. But I know Mary to be a genuine person. She's extended a hand of friendship to us along with her husband Martin. And I know no matter what she said or whatever way it was taken, it wasn't meant that way. She's put an awful lot of hard work into what she's doing, and she will continue to do so, and I am 100% support of her.
Saban na bliana 2005, sé Máire Ghiolla Íosa an ceannstaid tofa maná is fide inifig dawan. Tá meas lenúnach an phobal ice, in anóin an cor vís dúmacht. Tá sí fós in a crown taca don afhuinteras ó huig, agus leannig a seall san áras, go dtí deire na bliana 2000 is a héndia.
Brethúnas adrabhach mar sin. A chafar a thuirt an Uachtaráin atá in situ faoi láthir. Ach an méid sin ráite, gachrad de chursanáideh de chaachtain rá ins na rudí a lag síos de féin go sunrach ról dearafach I lena síochána agus an abhainteris. Go bhfuil méid áirithe dianta ce, agus beidir go nín seoigin stair agus an aimseir, go bhfuil beidir níos mó dianta ce ná mar a hiigeméid go fiú I láthir.
The word president automatically carries with it authority, standing, prestige. And to use those things is very important, not to let them moulder and gather dust on the shelf. And I think Máire McAleese is doing that, at least when she looks back in years to come and somebody says, in effect, well, what did you do in the war, Granny? She'd be able to say, I tried.
Sár Uachtaráin atá inchi agus feictar dú in sa tóchaí nuair a scrífar stair na linne seo go bheicearí mar thar Uachtaráin.
agus céadín se hagan in banna tí san ghilteacht faoi chabhaiseáil in seo ag leathairí sin na dheach fós an nacht siar an bóthar.